Good afternoon and welcome to what is probably, I guess you can call it a blast from the past. I don't really have much experience as to when the GT1s were. This is going to go well for me. Unresearched, unprepared, but welcome everyone to the second round of AF2 in 2023. We are live. We've got a 15-car grid, ready to go with qualifying. Practice has just finished with Sebastian Duran topping the time with a 44.9. So this should be pretty good. Bit of a mixed up grid perhaps, but we'll see. We start off with a 20-minute qualifying session. After that we'll have 2 hours of pure racing in cars that, honestly, I've only heard like 2 minutes and they sound amazing. And we're underway with qualifying. A racing green car. Ooh, lovely. How nice is it? Right, so there we are. Have to turn the engines down a bit then. How's this now? Obviously I've got my face right next to the mic. Is it better? Slightly better. How's this? I can't turn this up much more, to be fair. That's about as far as I can go. There we go, okay, that's alright. Right, let's get underway with qualifying now. AF2 everyone will be the first person to start his lap. We've got a nice 15 grid, everyone's out in a couple of minutes. Let's see what we got. I think top time was a high 44, so... And the pre-qualifying time for this was a 1:48. So if anyone doesn't know 1:48 in qualifying, either they accidentally cut the track, they deliberately cut the track. I'm looking at you, Pepper Cappy, or they skill issued. We're going to line them all with Alpha for this first lap. And 140 metres for turn 1. Had to second guess it to turn 1. Gets in the power nice and smoothly, go out of 2. Go on to the second straight, through the Curva Grande. I don't even know what speeds these cars are going to do, so I'll try and get the gears up. That's helpful. Thanks for putting that behind there, and it's gone now. We're going to go back to Alfie. Here we go, approaching 270 kilometres an hour, braking for the second chicane. Not sure what the plan was there. I think it was to sort of parkour off the entry curb. Didn't work. On towards Lesmo 1. Third gear, hold the inside. Use plenty of apex, plenty of curb on the exit. Brake for Lesmo 2, again down to third gear, 125. Careful on the throttle on the exit of Lesmo 2 because the exit curve is deadly. Back up to top speed. That jump from 275 to 280, that was strange. Hopping over the curbs at Ascari. Don't touch the inside of the second part. Plenty of exit. That looked nice and smooth. Now we run towards the final corner of the power of Alica. Late change down to third gear. Get on the power as early as you can. Probably could have gone earlier with that one, but down the line now. Probably going for a second one because he's gone quite wide. 46.4. Here's our first time on board, and he's already going to get traffic in the form of, I think it's Noah Rail. No, it's not. It is, I don't know who it is. Sebastian Duran. He's got straight on turn 1 just to get out of his way, isn't that nice? Ross has gone in with a 46.5 as well. With the gears now, it's getting in the way. Look at the pedals, they're hidden behind the standing for some reason. Very close so far. Everyone's in the 46s pretty much. Top 6 all separated by half a second. This is a good start. And there's Toxic Boy Chichko Devil going a second and a half faster with a 45 flat. And he pops himself into P5. Have a look at live timing, see who's getting good laps at the minute. Anto and Speeding Red. We go with Anto. Speeding's actually just spun it at the Scari as the remaining smoke from that. But it's looking like a good lap so far from Anto. We've got Jack and Nemanja both invalidated their laps. Or the previous laps. Nemanja's starting his new lap now. Anto goes P2, a 46.1. Looking very strong for Anto so far. He seems to do very well in these AF2, these endurance races. We've got Vasek who's just crashed at Lesmo 2. And the man who's gone back to the pits as well. We're going to have a look at Jack Olivier at the minute. See who Lesmo to himself. In fact, his lap is invalid as well. And track limits are rather strict. In certain places, you take too much out of the... Oh, we've got Lucky 7 that's spun. He's in the gravel at Ascari. He's going to go to the pits instead. We're going to look at... no rail. Got a couple of AF2 races. Wasn't even able to start the last AF2 race in Daytona, even though his teammate was Chichko Dibble. The team ended up finishing the race, but Noah could never get in the server. Or never stay in the server. He kept having to leave. So Chichko ended up racing the whole race instead. But he did still do the driver swaps, because they did try to get Noah back in. Around the final corner for Noah Rail to start his lap. Looking like a pretty good start to this run. Speeding has spun again. Speeding Red. Who else on? Anybody else on a good lap at the minute? Sebastian Duran tops the practice session as we just saw. With a time only a tenth of a second faster than the current pole time, so it's possible. 37.3 in the first sector from him. But we're seeing top times are around low 31, 37.1. 37.1 seems to be the top time I'm seeing at the minute for pole. Good job over that exit curb, but I'm not sure. In fact, Jack's just gone purple in the first sector with a 36.8. Duran's gone purple second sector with a 34.3. So there's half a second between Jack and Sebastian Duran after the first sector. And we've got Anto who has stopped at turn 2. He's come up to pits. The final corner now for Sebastian Duran. This could be interesting to see where he's going to end up. He's had his moments where he's been up there. Is it going to be enough for pole? No, it's going to be P2, a 45.4. Very good lap. Puts him towards the front of the pack as Jack goes. He's just come through the second sector, just under half a tenth faster in the second sector. So this could be enough. Oh, it's going to be close between him and Chichko Dibble for the pole position at the minute. So we're going to have a look at Jack Olivier actually. He's coming to the final corner at the Parabolica. Following him will be Noah Rail, last person. In fact, we've got Tomsy as well yet to set the lap. He hasn't gone out of the pits yet. Pole position, Jack Olivier now by 0.3 of a second, third of a second. Still 12 minutes in the session though to try and beat that. And Chichko Dibble and Sebastian Duran. Lucas Baller has had strong performances as well. Where's that engine sound coming from? No idea where that engine sound was coming from. Who else on a good lap at the minute? Lucky Sevens looking on a good lap. He's on a 37.5 personal best. Denny got a really good first sector, but he's invalidated the second sector, so that's now an invalid lap from him. Crupper Crunch is now in to do race control today, so we'll be having a rolling start with safety car procedures as well. The full 9 yards today, and hopefully any unlapping procedures will go better than they did in Daytona. Final corner for Anto. He's actually invalidated his lap. We'll put someone else. Lucky 7 through a scour at the minute. As with most cars, you really don't want to touch the inside curb of the right hander on a Scari. You hook the wheels in there, it's going to be very hard to get out of them, and you could lose the back end as well. Dangerous, playing a dangerous game. But there's time to be gained by cutting it as close as possible. There's so much time lost if you go over the edge. Final corner for Lucky 7. Very good lap so far. Goes P8 in the end, a 46.2. Let's say, lost a lot of time in the middle sector. 34.6 in the middle sector. And I think the best time we've seen is a 33. Oh, I should have written it down. Really should have. Halfway through, and there's a bit of traffic going on. Noah Rail goes to P4. Great lap from him. 45.9. Only the third driver to go into the... Sorry, fourth driver to go into the 45s. Spin for Denny in a minute. In fact, he's gone straight on to turn 1. So. Imagine us to get out of the way of the P8s. That'll be out 11. That is a custom livery, I'm sure of it. He's gone from British Racing Green, just like my car. I'm just trying to look at someone that says something that says Alfie Bevan on it. It might be a bit confusing. It might just be. No, it's on there. It's a custom livery. It's a River Racing car. He drives for River Racing now. That's confirmed. Our rail has spun on the exit. That's the exit of. He's facing forwards, but he's gone off on the exit. And Alfie's gone as well. Driver's clearly trying to find the edge of the car, the edge of the track, the edge of their own skill issues. I sense a really great midfield battle coming in today. P4 down to P10, all separated by about 0.4 of a second. That's going to be great to see. Rosso has spun... There he is on the right of your picture, as Ascari, waiting for someone to go past to rejoin. There we are. Instead, let's have a look at the Manu Popovic. Spotting a couple of potential issues. Oh no, they've been covered now. With a couple of drivers not joining the race, not joining the voice chat, but they're in now, so that's all sorted. We've lost Sebastian Duran. I'm hoping that's only a temporary thing. The cars sound great, they really do. In the middle of the session, we've got a couple of people. Yeah, next runs, I say, are starting now. Just had Toxic Boy, you had Chishko Dibble just going top. So it's within a 10th now. Just gone within a 10th of the pole position time. And then there's the rest. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this midfield battle. That's where most of the action will be today. As it was when AF1 was here a couple of weeks ago. The midfield battle was intense. A queue for 4th place, I think it was, or was it 5th? Whichever position I was in, I was at the front of it, and when I wasn't, and then I was. And he has forgotten how to drive the second chicane. It's clear the sausages on the chicanes don't have any effect on these cars. Interesting. It's good to know. It's disappointing as well because the man who had topped the first sector, but I imagine that's because he didn't brake for the second chicane. 36.7 from him there. Still no time from him. Still waiting on a time from Tomsey, but I don't think he doesn't seem to be leaving the pits at any time. So he's probably starting from the back. That could be interesting. And he's hiding some pace, as people tend to do in AF4. There we go, we got Sebastian Duran back, so he'll retake the P3 spot. And Lucas Ballot spun on the exit of Lesmo 2. I feel like that would be one of the main hotspots for crashes today, alongside Ascari, I think. We'll see Nemanja Popovic start his first proper flying lap now. I feel like I want to turn the engines up. Let's ride on board with the Nemanja actually for this one. just goes wide there in the end, so that will probably end up being invalid. Looking good though. It was 37.4 first sector, 34.8 middle sector, which would have been enough probably for somewhere in the midfield. While that was happening, we saw Vasek go to P5 with a great lap, only 1.4 seconds off of the new pole time set by Jacques Olivier of 44.3. Actually, was that? It was legal. 46.193. I forget, we've relaxed the limits on the exits of the Lesmos and at the exit of Ascari because we made the carpet legal today. Because it won't be fun if you have to follow the regulations. C'est la vie. So the man goes P12 with that, of the 14 that have set a lap. In fact, that midfield lap was looking like P4 and then the rest. P4 down to P15 is going to be intense. I'm here for it, it's great. Just briefly turn them, I'll turn them back down again, I'll turn down to 4. This is quite quiet engine actually. Sounds like the engine just blew there, misshifted and just gone. Dead. Good start from him. But Sebastian Duran, no one really setting any blistering sector times now. I suspect he found the limits of people's capabilities in these cars. Each of them. There's only 3 minutes to try and prove me wrong. Apparently just lost a mix trial. I didn't realise he's in the server. He might be able to set a lap time. Lots of smoke coming off of the tyres for Sebastian Duran. Around the final corner he comes. Doesn't improve. 45.8 on this lap. Best lap was a 45.2. But he's got probably 2 more tenths, depending if he's fueled enough for it. Lucas Ballard's on a good lap at the minute, to 37.2 from him. So we'll take a look at his lap. A couple of hundredths, he only needs to find half a tenth to make a position. If he finds 3 tenths, he's got himself on the second row of the grid. So anything you can find is going to help. Any last bit of performance you can squeeze out of the engine. So, second sector time for Lucas Ballard is a little slow. It's a 35.2. Used no curb at the end of Ascari there. So now towards the final corner we go. Got no improvement. Really close in front between Anto and Kevin. 0.02 of a second. And any improvement from Bala? No improvement in the end. In fact, I dare say it was invalid. No, it wasn't invalid. It was 46.6 in the end. It needs to be the 45.9 to make an improvement. There's second sector times being traded between Jacques Olivier and Chichko Dibble. They both did a 34.1. Chichko got it first, then Jack beat it. Difference is, Jack did that on a hot lap, and Chichko was doing that on an out lap. So there's more pace from both of them, but Chichko needs to find an additional half a second on top of whatever Jack finds. So Jack will come to the line now. Does improve, finds another half a tenth. He's into a 44.298 now on top. So we're going to look at Chichko Dibble, because he's on. He'll be the last big gun to set a lap with 5 seconds to go. What's he got in the tank? 37.0 first sector is 2 tenths down on Jack's best time. But we know he can match Jack in the second sector, so does he? No, another tenth down, but another tenth, a couple tenths to be found could help. Jack can still do another lap, so he is on one. New personal best from Anto. Lucky 7 makes does a good lap, puts him up to P7. He was down in P13. A big improvement from him, and that's a big correction there from Chichko Dibble. That's probably the end of his qualifying session. Lucas Balla improved to P6. And yes, Toxic Boy is going into the pits, so that's probably the end of that'll be the end of his lap. Speeding Red is up next in the 41. Is he on an improvement? It doesn't look like he's on an improvement. Nemanja Popovic has just done a personal best in the first sector, but I reckon... Oh, no, it's legal. Ooh. Oh, this could be interesting. P7 is where it will stay. For Speeding Red, Rosso does improve but stays P9. 2 drivers left to finish. In fact, we've got Kevin as well, actually. Oh, no, Kevin says he's finished. According to the times. In fact, so we've just got Noah Rail. And the man who's crashed. Noah Rail does improve. 45.533. Little bit of time. I don't think he's found much time, but it's enough. He stays P4. The man was on a really good lap. Lost it at the final corner. 35.0 middle sector would have been enough for... Ooh. Personal best first sector, 10th fastest, so I probably would have been enough for P4. I reckon. P4. But there we have it. That's our qualifying session done for the 2 hours of Monza. 2 hours of pure racing in these GT1 cars coming up very shortly. Stay with us. So who's it going to be? We've got quite a close midfield battle going on, which I'm really looking forward to seeing, as I've said before. But some of the other things we've got going on in AF coming up soon. We have our new AF1 season starting next week. Feel free to sign up for that. First race is at Fuji, practice race at Fuji on Sunday, next Sunday. AF3 starts their season proper on Friday at Poznania. With two 10-lap races. We had a practice race yesterday, and aside from the shithousery people were pulling, the actual racing, especially for the lead, was incredible. Really, we had I think it was 5 cars in the train at one point for the lead. Really fun. So you absolutely join that if you can. Signs are very much open for that, or you can just watch the stream as well. We'll be streaming that on Friday. This hasn't gone to plan because we're missing about 4 or 5 cars from the grid, 3 cars from the grid. Crumpet's jump starting, so we better hope he doesn't need to do another lap in this formation lap. But we're underway with the formation lap, at which point I will go through the grid. Jack Olivier starts on pole. Chichko Dibble alongside. Then we have Matthew Vatic, Lucas Balla. I dare say this is people missing. We'll just wait for them to catch up. They're not going to do it as well. Nothing to take that off from them. Assuming they're working properly. Big biscuit. Our GT1 field led by Krubby Cruncher. Very cool. Sounding very cool. Don't know what that is. The sort of bouncing thing in the middle of the track. It's gone now. But I think everyone is in line, so let's take you through the grid. Jack Olivier starts on pole alongside Chichko Devil. Then it is Sebastian Duran in third place. With Noah Well in fourth. Matthew Vatic starts in fifth with Lucas Balla in sixth. Then Speeding Red in seventh. Lucky 7 in 8th place. Then we have Rosso in 9th. Anto starts 10th. Where's Nemanja? There he is. Nemanja starts in 11th. Alongside Denny. And we have people that... Where did Coffee come from? He wasn't there in qualifying, but he will start apparently P13. Then Tomsy in 14th. Kevin starts 15th. Alfie is going to have to start at the back, it would seem. Do the rear view camera on Crumpet's car as they get ready to go green. Surprisingly, not a lot of reason for the front of the pack. Would have thought cold tyres would be the last thing you want going into turn 1 at Monza in an online race. But I'm not driving, so not my problem. Crumpet's suddenly going slow. I don't know why that is. Clearly driving on keyboard as well. We are okay. I guess we're doing another lap, probably because of Alfie. I need to remember where Alfie was starting actually. Alfie should be starting in P12. So 1:46.168 is his best time. Pretty close field actually in the end, all the way through. Yeah, whole field separated by 2.5 seconds. Not bad. We're doing one more lap, and then if we have to do a third one, Crumpet Cruncher will be disqualified from the race and kicked from the server. That's the last thing we need. Crumpet actually needs to drive all the way through the pits, and then reset the pits, I think. Otherwise, we'll get messy. But we are going to go for another lap. Alfie's going to have the advantage of having nice warm tyres. Why has Alfie's track map got Auto Club? That's not how you do turn 1, but oh well. Turning as a motorbike. He's coming up onto the back of the field now. Number 23, FRA simracing. Is that on the dash? Is that? I guess F1 comes back. It's rusty or something, I don't know. Our race leader under our second formation lap. The time has started, of course, in the race. We can't stop that. Oh, we've got a spin. No, Rail has spun it. How do you spin it under a safety car? No, Rail is taking out Rosso in the process as well. That is a disaster. And Coffee opened his doors for some reason. What? Why did Coffee's door open? Rosso will be absolutely gutted. And of course, under a safety car situation, if you lose your position, you can't get it back. Ali, looking at you. Why does Coffee's door keep opening? Did they not put a lock on it on the mod? That's just what? That's just a brakes thing, isn't it? When he presses the brakes, the door's open. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I think that's probably one of the best things I've seen on a livery. Yep. That is brilliant. Okay, are we about to go green? Or are we about to do a third lap? Because a Grumpy can't really do a third lap. Okay, I guess we are going green, so let's get ready to rumble here in Monza. Wait for the green flag call. There's a green flag. Good start from Jack Olivia and from P4 in Vasic. He's ordered alongside Sebastian Duran. There's a few changes just at the back. That's 4 wide. 4 wide! At the back of the field! Sorry. Surprise 4 wide. That's not going to go well. It was almost 5 wide, in fact, down towards turn 1. Couple of lock-ups from the midfield, but otherwise pretty good. A bit of bumping and barging, as you'd expect. That's a spin for the man approach on the inside. 3 cars have to take to the motorbike layout, but otherwise we're all good through turn 1. Not too bad at all. Jack has a 1 second lead already over Chichko Dibble. Vasic's got a great start. He's already looking on the back of Chichko Dibble, in fact. Behind that, we've got Sebastian Duran just hanging on, and then Lucas Ballot is in the start of the peloton with Lucky 7 side by side with him into the second chicane. In fact, Speeding Red's got past all of them. He's up to P5. Vasic's past Toxic Boy for P2. And Duran's past him as well, actually, out of the second chicane. Excellent move from Vasic. And very opportunistic from Sebastian Duran as well. Popovic down to the back of the grid as he tries to go down the inside of Coffee through Lesmo 1. Not going to work. Down towards the Scali for the first time. All line astern towards the Scali. Doesn't really get any movement. The Alfie on the back of Anto. I think there was a bit of a bump there. Alfie goes a little wide. He's got the gap behind. That's not the best line from Denny through the Scali. Well, in fact, it's not. And Alfie spun it. He's in the middle of the track. Oh, brilliant avoiding from. I think that was Noah Rail, in fact. Amazing avoiding action. Vasic and Duran side by side through the final corner at Parabolica. Vasic's got the inside though, and there's no overlap. There's an overlap, so he can't pull into the slipstream either. They're both going to be a bit of a sitting duck from. No, in fact, he won't be because Chichko Dibble's far too far back. Almost leaning on each other as they go towards turn 1. Changing positions there. Sebastian Duran's got a much better exit though. At the back, Denny Popovic. Here's the midfield battle I was talking about. It's even closer than I thought. That is Kevin and Tomsy getting together. Tom's been pushed off the track as a result. I think there was a bit of a lag there moment there for Lucas Balla. Lucky 7's going to have a look down the inside. Decides against it. Anto might look though. No, he doesn't. Does break a lot later though. In the second again. Popovic's comeback is already going really well. He's up to he's side by side with Kevin. This is for P12. Denny is going to try and make it 3 wide towards Lesmo 1. Is there room? There's not. He's going to pull back in. They're still side by side, even through a chicane and Lesmo 1. Nemanja and Kevin. Kevin's going to keep the place for now. Denny is going to be sniffing up Nemanja's arse. Down the back straight we go. Vasic's starting to get a gap now to Duran to hold on to that P2, but he's not got a good line through Ascari. Here comes Duran. Oh, Duran spun it on his own! He's got a little bit of time, but not much. Okay, yeah, he's going to be out of the way now. That is a gift for Matthias Vasic, but he has got Chichko Dibble right on his bumper now. 4/10. That's slipstream worthy. Kevin and Rosso changing places. Kevin looking at the outside of Parabolica and has got the move done. Brilliant move from him. Alfie and Denny switch positions as well as Denny goes wide at Parabolica. Tom's is going to look at that as well. I have no idea what the strategies are like, by the way. I don't know what that's going to be. Kevin and Rosso are side by side as Lucas Balla has spun. How bad is it? I can't see it. Oh, he's stuck on the inside of the. He's stuck on the inside. Nowhere he can go until everybody has gone past him. Another one bites the dust. Alfie and Demani still side by side coming out of turn 1 and 2. Man's got the inside though, so Alfie will pull back in the slipstream. So the move to turn 2 into the second chicane, possible. Not going to do it though. Behind that though is Tomsy and Denny. I think Tomsy just locked up a bit, and he did. He's going to have to rejoin behind Denny in P14. And once again, Vasek is pulling away a little bit from Jitsko Dibble. 6.5 tenths now. But as we've seen so far in this race, all 3 laps of it, all it takes is one mistake and you're in the firing line again. Anton's having a great start to this race. Started P10, he's already up 4 places to P6. He's lost a couple of people behind him, like Noah Rail, Sebastian Duran. They both got places behind him. In fact, Duran's he might have given up on the race now. Had such a good start to it, qualified really well, but one spin has just put him right at the back and out of it. You should never give up in racing. You never should. Really close actually, Vatican and Jitsko Dibble. 3.5 tenths again. How strong is that slipstream? What were the last lap times? In fact, last lap, Vasek was a tenth faster. How is it close from 6 tenths to 2 tenths so quickly? And here comes a move. No, not close enough this time. Poland versus Bulgaria for second place and third place. Bad run through the second chicane note for Vasek, so here comes Jitsko Dibble once again. Got a nose in there in Lesmo 1, but can't get the overlap, not enough to make a move. Just going to quickly switch back to Anto. Just got past Lucky 7 up to P5 now. Really great start from Anto with 5 places. Speeding Red as well. Shout out to Speeding Red as well. He's up to 3 places. Same for Vasek, up to 3 places. Lost Sebastian Duran from this race. First retirement after only 3 laps. Vasek holding off Dibble very well in this race so far. Oh, is that the man in the background? It is. He's saved it. He's having to lean on the barriers to do it, but he's saved it. Drops behind Denny and Tomsy now. This is looking very, very racy behind Alfie, who, as you might have seen in the Twitch chat, he's struggling with some frame rate issues. He's only playing on his laptop, but we're very glad to have him here nonetheless. Which in fact has dropped behind Lucas Ballard. He's going to try and pass him again. He's got the inside line down the pit straight, which you wouldn't think would be much of an advantage, but there's a little kick. And he has now taken the place, but can Lucas Ballard pass him back on the slipstream? No, he can't. Not close enough this time. While Vasek is potentially holding up Jitsko Dibble, Speeding Red is coming, and he is speeding to do so. Half a second faster than Vasek is Speeding Red on the last lap. While these are all doing mid to high 47s, Jackson the low 46s. What's even the bloody point? The only way Jack cannot win this race is if someone bashes his computer in. But never say never in AF2. It's just a quality. It's just a hot lap. We're only 4 laps in. Oh, that's a spin for Jitsko Dibble. Another one down at the Scar chicane. You have to rejoin behind where there he is, just at the bottom of the camera. You can rejoin in P7. Maybe even lower than that, actually. No, yeah, P7. But he's going to get done by coffee, I would expect. Yeah, the difference in speed is quite considerable. Might even lose out to Kevin down the pit straight. Coffee does go wide though. This is coming from the back of the grid. He's made it halfway through the field at P7. Chichko side by side. Coffee going very defensive, and Kevin's locked up, and Coffee's locked up as well, and he's almost taken out Alfie as Kevin. It's all got a bit tits up, but they've survived. They've all survived. Coffee has lost the place to Chichko Dibble, though. That bonnet's shaking a lot. Here's Anto, who's on the back of Vasic. Ooh, Anto on the back of Vasic now. He's had a big moment out of turn. Oh, how did Speedy get out? Vasic must have made a mistake. He must have missed that one. In fact, yeah, in the first sector. Lost 6 seconds in the first sector. So Speeding Red is now in P2 and is probably our only hope of having a different one. Vasic is now P3. Anto P4 and closing. Lucky 7's in the queue as well, and so is Noah Rail. There's a bit of a train forming. Noah Rail's not quite on the back of his yet. He will be down in a couple of laps, especially if these three, in fact, start battling. Alfie and Coffee have changed places for P8. While this is going on. I dare say Lucky 7 got a much better run for Lascari, so a good run into the Parabolica with some slipstream. Kind of see it as well, but not enough. Everybody goes wide at Parabolica. Vasic does. Lucky 7 does. Anto not so much. Nor Noah Rail, in fact. So this could be pretty close. Why are the onboard cameras not aligned? You see a dive bomb into the first chicane. We can't. Noah Rail will, though, on Lucky 7 and makes the move stick. Brilliant move. In fact, mind you, Anto as well, because he's gone really slowly through the first chicane. Comes to the outside of Anto, around the Curva Grande. I'm told Vasic doesn't have the ballast. Oh, look at that! Through goes Lucky 7! True Hamilton style. Brilliantly opportunistic from Lucky 7 there. Is he in a Lamborghini? It looks like a Lambo. Oh, it's got to be a Lambo. Rosso has spun it. First Lesmo this time for him. 17 kilos I need to give Vasic. Well, that sucks. I'm not being bamboozled with it. It's not helpful. Yeah. 14. Done. Not the best time to do that, but there we go. So Vasic now has ballast, which that sucks. I thought his pace was real, but maybe it still will be. Maybe it still will be. He's got P3 at the minute, and he's got a gap back to Lucky 7 while those four were battling. In fact, the big loser out of that battle was Chichko Dibble. He's lost the back of the train. He's 1.2 there. Denny has spun it. First chicane. Also, still can't make anything of that. Noah Rail still looking to get past Anto. First sector for Speeding Red there. There's hope. There's a glimmer of hope. It won't be all that Jack's day. Now a bit half-hearted with that move. Couldn't get the overlap. But he has got a better run towards the Parabolica, and he's going to go hard to the left, I would have thought. Now he does go to the left-hand side. So here comes Noah Rail, but also here comes Toxic Boy. Chichko Dibble, see what he can do out of this. Maybe he could do exactly what Lucky 7 did just a couple of laps ago. They're both going a little wide at the parabolica, so a good tight line doesn't really do that, but does still get a pretty good exit. Noah Rail has now got past Anto, but can Chichko do the both of them into turn 1? He requires some balls, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. Still side by side through here. Wait for it, here it comes. No, not quite. No, it's going to keep P5 and so is Anto for P6. Alfie. Okay, I don't know what was going on there. Alfie looked like he was close, but he wasn't. Good line through there from top. Chichko Devil just outside of the car though. Got a long way to go in this race. Hour and 40 minutes to go. On lap 11. Well, it's minus 10, so minus 2, so that's 9. Jack has a 14-second lead over Speeding Red. Who's 5 seconds ahead of Matthias Vasek, who is drifting it out of Ascari. Maximum marks for style for him there. Lucky 7 is in 4th place, leading a train of almost 5 cars. With Noah Rail, Anto and Chichko Dibble. Soon Alfie will be there, he's 2 seconds back. Then Coffee in 9th place, and Kevin in the topsy-turvy race, starting in 10th place. Or going in 10th place. He's got a really good run on Lucky 7 here. He's going to look to him, look to the inside towards the first chicane. Decisive braking, little lock up just to add a bit of flair to it, and he's made the move stick. Unlucky 7 who almost loses the back end himself out of turn 2, and that is going to open the floodgates. Here comes Anto and Lucky and Chichko Dibble as well. Thank you, the Steve Phoenix, for following. Thank you very much. I've given Matthias the ballast now for a bit. Yeah. Bad run through the second chicane. I think Anto's running the curbs a bit cautiously a lot of the time, especially through Ascari, and he's costing him on the edge. He's holding on well so far. It might cost him here. This is his weakest spot, as I said a second ago, but here comes Chichko Dibble. Move down the inside. Not close enough, but it does force him wide as Lucky 7 goes off as well. Everyone behind him has to scramble. Anto spun it. That's 2 spins. Oh, and a really bad rejoin. What are you doing, Anto? That's 4. Bring on the safety car. Surely bring on the safety car. Yes. I'm hearing reduced engine notes. Vasek is in the pits straight away. Jack's 17-second lead has been immediately foiled by his own father. And Lucky 7. But mostly Anto because of the bad rejoin. But away we go. P3, 4, 5, 6 all in the pits. Alfie and Chichko Dibble and Vasek and Rail. Kevin's in, Povich is not in, so he will go up to P3. But crucially, I think the safety car call would have been too late for Jack to come in. So if this is around when the pit stop should be, which I honestly have no idea, I really don't. If someone could enlighten me, that would be really helpful. Then that's put Jack in a potentially bad situation because he might have to take a green flag pit stop. I don't know how long pit stops are either, actually, but yeah. That will be running a reduced pace, as you hear now. It's not exactly a full safety car pace, but it is reduced. And we'll have... there we go. Crumpet's on his way out. This could get a little confusing now. We will exit the pits and wait for Jack to get to the back of him. These guys will still be driving like they're racing, so the tyres will stay hot. It should be a fairly short safety car, I would think. Maybe 2 more laps. Ooh. You'll have to ask Crumpet on that one. I'm pretty sure he did the drive-through. We'll find out in a minute. Well, he's out of the pits and he's fine, so I'm guessing he's fine. So we'll get past him. And in fact, both the leaders are in now. So this is going to be added confusion, actually, for Crumpet Cruncher. Because he's going to have to wait for ages for someone, or he doesn't know who he's going to be. He's probably going to be the Mania, but it could end up being Vasic because, yeah, 3 to 6 are all going to pit now. So Popovic is in, so is Coffee. Tomsy is not going to go in, and neither is Anto. So it will probably be Tomsy who will lead the field at the end of the first safety car. But Tomsy and Anto haven't pitted yet, so they will need to take a green flag pit stop at this point in time. It says potentially throwing the cat amongst the pigeons. Plus, obviously, the leader has to take a reduced pace. The likes of Vasic, who weren't at any point in the lead, don't have to slow down, so they could potentially overcut the likes of Jack Olivier. And Vasic has in fact passed. Oh no, he hasn't passed Jack. He's going to be P5. And in fact, what has happened? Speeding Red has jumped Jack Olivier in the pits. So we have Tomsy and Anto, your top 2. They're yet to pit. So your net race leader is Speeding Red, followed by Jack Olivier. Then Vasic is going to be a net 3rd place. Then we have Alfie and Chichko Dibble and Noah Rail, Nemanja Popovic and Coffee. Lucky 7 and Lucas Ballard is the top 10. How much longer? Kevin has spun it and is actually to teleport to the pits after spinning at turn 1. We've got most of the field catching up now. So, yeah, next lap I would imagine the safety car will come in. I'm guessing Crump is hearing this, so I'm just sort of giving him tips. I reckon. He doesn't need my tips. More than capable, but I said make it easier if he listens. If he wants to. It's up to him. Anyway. Very interesting timing on that safety car. We're a quarter of the way into this race. If all the fielders have to pit under the safety car now, that's an interesting strategy. I'm wondering how much further could these cars have gone. And we'll probably find that out when Tomsy and Anto eventually come in the pits. So I suspect it'll be closer to a 2-stop strategy in this race rather than a 1-stop. Top 2 don't pit, and rightly so. They would probably go back on the grid and actually probably delay the safety car for another lap. But that means we should get going at the end of this lap. It is just starting. It is Tomsy in the lead. We have Anto in 2nd. Anto being the one to essentially cause the safety car, collecting 2 people at Ascari. Speeding Red is your net race leader in 3rd, having jumped Jack Olivier in the pits under the safety car. Vasic is P5. Alfie in 6th. Chico Devil is 7th. No Rail 8th. And 9th. And Coffee is in 10th place. As I say, everyone bar the top 2 has now stopped. They're taking their first stop. Curiously, I wonder if, had Speedy Red pitted straight away, sorry, probably would have been the same situation, but would he have still jumped Jack? wonder if Speeding Red made a really good call by following what Jack did. Maybe he's taking a little bit less fuel. There's many questions to be answered because it wasn't exactly close. It was, you know, Speeding Red beat him by about 5 seconds at the pit stop. Maybe a little bit less fuel, a bit of fuel saving on the second stint, just to give him that track position for this second phase of the race. But we also know that Jack has a lot of pace in that car. There's only one other driver than him that's been in the 46s, and that's Chichester Dibble in the 46s. Everyone else in the field is doing 47 with their best time. Jack's is a 45.9. On pure pace, there is no contest that Jack should be winning this race. However, strategy and safety cars have now played a part in this race, and Jack now has to take the restart from P4. Top 2, of course, will be running much lighter fuel. They're not especially slow, they're only about half a second slower than Speeding Red's best time, and they will be faster than Speeding Red and Jack on the restart because they have lower fuel, but also potentially worn tyres. So as we go towards the green flag on this race, on the restart, we'll wait for Tomsy to let us go. We assume he's going now. Yep, Crumpet's spelling into the pits. So we're getting ready for the restart of this Monza race. Tomsy and Anto lead, yet to pit. Wait for the pull away. They've gone now. Great getaway from Tomsy. Anto has been left in the dust. So too is Speeding Red. Jack is already going to look to the inside. He's got a really good getaway. I dare say we might see another safety car as Vasic is going to try and follow Jack through on Speeding Red. He's going to go around the outside of turn 2, and he has made the place. Brilliant move from Vasic once again. Alfie is in the back of this as well. He's passed. He's got past Chico Dibble, I think. I suspect there'll be some team orders in a second as Anto and Jack and Olivier will swap positions, but for now, every man for themselves. But Tomsy's got a bit of a gap here, and Jack has gone a bit deep there. I think he might have done. Speeding Red has another look on Vasic, doesn't make the move though, and there's a bit of a little concertina on the exit of the second chicane, which puts Alfie in striking distance of Speeding Red down the inside of Lesmo 1. Doesn't make the move though. Denny is spun into the back at the second chicane. Alfie managed to pull up down the inside of Speeding Red from Lesmo 1. He's going to get it through Lesmo 2 and does take the place. Here comes Chichko Dibble instead. Terrible start to this by Speeding Red. He had the perfect strategy to get himself ahead of Jack, and it's all come crashing down so quickly within half a lap. Speeding Red does keep the place for now in P6, but that's going to turn to P7 because he's got a much worse run than the car behind, Chichko Dibble. Jack Olivier is already on the back of Tomsy. It's his 10th and a half there. And Vasic will be looking at Anto very shortly. 3/10 there. Tomsy's not got the best run through the parabolica. Jack seems much more confident on the power. Tomsy still gets a better drive out of the corner. Slipstream will reverse that though, as Vasic and Alfie are side by side. Really bad run through the parabolica, clearly for Vasic. As Anto has a look on his own son. They are side by side in turn 1. Anto stopped it on the apex. So there's nowhere for Vasic to go. Just avoids hitting him though, and keeps P4. So very good avoidance from Vasic. A very good damage limitation as well. Behind that, still, Chichko Dibble can't get past Speeding Red. Moves over Brandon once again. That is Jack to the outside of Tomsy. Touches the grass though, still makes the place. Lewis Hamilton, eat your heart out. Jack can make passes on the grass. You can't. So Tomsy drops the P2, and that'll be Jack cleared away once again. But Anto is going to look to try and make the move on Tomsy. Important a bit later on as the strategy spreads the field out once again. It's a long pit stop, you can see, about 30 seconds. I'm going to wait a little longer. to avoid being put at the back of the grid, or hope for another safety car. It's not out of the realm of possibility because the field is still pretty smushed together as we head to the restart. Vasek once again much better run through the second of the chicane compared to Anto. Vasek will try and make a move, but he needs to get past him pretty quickly. But Anto's still trying on Tomsy. But Alfie's going to look to the inside. No, he's not. He's close enough though. Anto forces Tomsy wide, does squeeze to the inside. This is not helping Vasek's race at all. What options has Vasek got? There's a gap down the middle. I don't think he'd try it though. He has got a much better run than both of them. Oh, he is going to try and squeeze down the middle. This is risky to turn one. Both Anto and Tomsy go a bit deep through one. Vasek's going to try and squeeze around the outside. There's no room there. Where's Alfie in all of this? He is side by side with Vasek and a better run as well. This is going to be so frustrating for Vasek. Speeding Red is back in the fray. And he's going to try and make it 3 wide, I think. There's a bit of door banging, I think. Oh, Speeding Red is going to make it 3 wide. Down the inside of the second chicane. Vasek backs out of it. No move made for Speeding Red there in the end. In fact, I think Vasek pushes Speeding Red off into the gravel a little bit. That's Chichko Dibble passing Speeding Red. Pure racing. I hope this continues for an hour 25. I don't think it will, though. Alfie's on the back of Anto. So Alfie has now taken over the net P2 in this race, where he was back in about P6 or 7. And he is going to go down the inside. Anto is going to send it down the inside of Tomsy. He goes way too deep. He's crashed into it. He's crashed into Speeding Red. Still only 2 cars involved. That's 3 cars. Alfie spotted. And it's a rejoin of rejoins. It's going to be another safety car. I'm sure of it. We've got at least 3 cars off. Many more involved. Jack is slower. So we have a second safety car. And once again, caused by Anto at the Ascari chicane. Now, will either Tomsy or Anto pit this time? This is a golden opportunity for them, and they cannot mess it up. They'll be at the back of the grid, of course. But, yeah, he is diving into the pits, is Tomsy. They'll be at the back of the grid, but at least they'll be right at the back of the grid, not way off the back of it. We're under a second safety car period, only 10 minutes into the last one. Anto is not going to pit. He's going to keep staying out. Out of all of this, it's been a bit of a mix around again, but once again we have Jack Olivier in the lead with his advantage. He'd only just got the advantage, in fact. He hadn't long gotten past Tomsy, but it is Jack in the lead now with Vasek in second. Chichko Dibble is in 3rd place, Speeding Red 4th. Good. Actually, I'm glad that he's been able to rejoin still in a decent position after the move there. Nemanja Popovic is P5. Got the safety car coming from the outside. That's pretty good from him. What's Kevin doing? Why is Kevin doing that? Fair enough. Get him unlapped pretty quickly. He's the only person that is lapped. That's fine. Popovic is 5th. Alfie, who was running a net P2, is now P6. That will be net P... No, he actually is ahead of Anto, so there's no net. He is net P6. Rosso is 7th. Coffee is 8th. Lucas Balla 9th. Lucky 7 is in 10th. Tomsy has come out of the pits. He's joined the back of the field now. In P14. We're still waiting on Anto to pit. He's the only person yet to pit in this race so far. At just over 35 minutes into this race. It's been a really good race so far. I'm really glad for this. I mean, it sucks that we've had to pull the VSCs, the safety cars, because of rejoins and the like. And to be fair, I don't think it was the rejoins this time. It was a case of, they'd gone and had sent it down the inside at the Ascari chicane and forced both of them deep. And as they were pulling back onto the track, there's not much they can do. They can't really wait. They have to rejoin. They can't slow down for that sort of thing. They can slow down a little bit, but they can't stop and wait. So it's a case of, there's not much you can do. And when you've got a big midfield battle right behind you coming through, they're just going to scramble everyone. Thank you very much for subscribing once again. It's 25 months now for Charbotron. We've actually lost Kevin now, which means we could get underway straight away. I mean, I sucked that Kevin had to leave. I should have led with that. We've got another retirement now on lap 17 in this race. Are we going to get Crumper coming to pits this lap? We're going to, yes, he is. So we're going to go green once again. That's a really good run here. He could take the lead of this race. I think the green flag's been pulled. No, it hasn't. There it is. He's gone really late this time. And Bassey's got a pretty good run on Jack Olivier. In fact, everyone's got a pretty good run, apart from Jack Olivier. What can Bassett do? Down the inside towards turn 1. No move made at all. Jack is going to keep that P1 position. Keep moving back. Alfie getting past the managed opponent to P5. Lucky 7 past Coffee P8. Other than that, very clean start. Man's going to hold on to the slipstream here. We're going to ride a ball with him. Can he make a move into turn 4? No, he can't. Goes a bit deep though as well, actually. So here comes Rosso. He's getting close, but not close enough. Alfie already on the back of Speeding Red. Really good restart from Alfie. And again through Lesmo too. This could be good. Right on his bumper. Speeding Red has lost the back of the top 3. He's not going to make a move into Ascari. He's seen what happens when you go down the inside of Ascari and you haven't got it right. So maybe Parabolica's a smarter move. And in fact it is. Look at the exit he's got. That's amazing. Oh, but it just bounces out so quickly as well. Nothing about shift. But Alfie has got the outside. Speeding Red is forced to a tighter line through Parabolica. So Cuba cut back once again. It's already working. Can he get that overlap? It seems to be a struggle now. He has now got the overlap. I guess the slipstream isn't that strong in the end. Down the inside goes Alfie into turn 1. And he's got the play. Speeding Red gives it up in the end. Opportunities later on though. In the midfield, I think we saw Rosso going a bit deep at turn 1. And I think passing no rail in the end. Might have to get that one back. Behind that, Lucas Ballard and chose some positions as well. So as well. Speeding Red still on the back of Alpha, hoping to make another move. Plays back into a really good run from the second as well. Seems to be easier to be the hunter than the hunted. Down doors. Coffee. Keeping that P8, P7 by making his car wider and opening these doors. Also has a look at Lucky 7. Can't make a position. Lucky 7 can't seem to get into P7. Needs to change his name. To answer Terry Dean, he modded his skin so that when he presses the brakes, it opens the doors. CSP moment. The weird things you can do with CSP. It's amazing. Coffee, however, no matter how good his skin is and his air brakes, still can't get. He's got a train behind him, a really big train behind him. In fact, it's about 5 cars. And Lucky 7 is going to take it over, or is he? Very even exit between the two of them. This is brilliant racing. I mean, sure, Jack has gotten away again. It's 2 laps, it's 2.5 seconds, but the midfield, as expected, is incredible. Coffee tries to hit Lucky 7's door with his door and keeps the place. The P7. Ross is going to have a look at Lucky 7 on the exit. That's is that Lucas Ballard? I think going a bit deep. No, Rail's right on the back of Rosso though. has got the... Oh, there's a bit of a door bang, and that's no rail off the track. Oh, Luke about with the bad rejoin, and he's hit Denny. He's having a reverse. That is Luke, no rail to the back of the field. It's a safety car. He has pulled another safety car. I thought there was only 3 cars involved in that, but fair enough. We have another safety car. Jack Olivier once again has to lead the field through a safety car period. This is the 3rd safety car period. It's just been 10 minutes. Well, he's Vasek alongside. I think he's just shooting about it. It's quite cool. Right. Oh. 1 every 10 minutes. I don't mind that. Now, Anto still hasn't pitted in this race. Is he going to pit this time? It looks like he's going to the right-hand side, so... No, still not pitting. How long can he go in this race? This is a really interesting tactic from Anto now. It started off as crazy, and the more safety cars we're getting on the 3rd one, it's now, this could be a good idea, actually. Because they all pitted on the first pit stop, on the first safety car, took the first opportunity, because they didn't think there'd be another one. And Anto, whether deliberately or accidentally, has decided to stay out, and it's working well for him. He's up to P9, and this is without pitting. He absolutely cannot go to the end on one attack, obviously. But I dare say the rest of the field can't either. So at what point does this become a 1-stop for Anto and a 2-stop for the rest of the field? So Anto actually loses nothing. Not sure he's gained much either, but he hasn't lost anything. I'm making all these assumptions on the basis of no strategic advice whatsoever. I have no idea how big the fuel tanks are, how long the tyres can last. I have no indication whatsoever. So if anyone, maybe someone that's retired from the race and is watching the stream right now, could tell me how long the fuel one lasts and how many stops this race should be? Question mark? But in any case, for now we're going to go safety car. An hour and 15 left in this race. Truly enthralling race in the end so far. Minutes in, I didn't have a lot of hope, but the midfield battle was always good all the way through. The challenge is if you can get in front of Jack Olivier, how long can you hold him back for? Because we've seen in the last couple of restarts that Matthews Vasek can get a good start. A better one than Jack. But not enough to actually try for a move into turn 1. And it seems round here, the second chicane is your last opportunity. You've got 2 chances to get past Jack on a restart. And that is turn 1 and turn 4. If you're not done by then you're not winning the race. Or you're not winning this stage of this, probably a NASCAR race at this point. We're having the assumption that no one else wants to pit. We should be going green at the end of this lap. I'll say this now because it has been 3 safety cars. A big thank you to Crumpet Cruncher for taking on the race control role for this race. But we are going to go green, so we await the green flag. There it is. Pretty even start between the top 2. Alfie's looking racy, and in fact, that's Alfie is going around the outside and has made the move successfully on Chichko Dibble into turn 1. Brilliant start from him. And place made. Generally, it's Linus staying behind that though. Likely going to get a second chance is Vasek this time on Jack Olivier. But Alfie might have a look. In fact, that's a speeding red on the grass. Two was on the grass, trying to get past Chichko Dibble. They are still going to be side by side. But Speeding Red does back out of it in the end. Toxic Boy. Chichko Dibble keeps P4 for now. Manny Popovic is going to look down the inside of Speeding Red instead. Towards the first Lesno. And they're still side by side. And still, here comes Coffee though. And Lucky 7 and Rosso. There's about 5 cars in a very short gap. Look at this. It's so tight between a lot of them. Rosso's going to have the best run. He's done Lucky 7. Can he do anybody else? Unlikely to Ascari though. Oh, he's locked the brakes. Rosso's gone. Oh, careful with the rejoin. He hasn't hit anyway. Is he hitting him on? There's more cars off. Denny's gone. What happened? Yep, there goes a safety car number 4. What happened, Rosso? Oh my god, that reminds me of the Porsche season in the AF3. It was Ali in that case, locked the rear brakes going into the Ascari chicane, and just, I think he avoided everyone in the end. But wow, I mean, there's no real shithousery going on. Tom's going to take a second pit stop. He's the first person to take a second pit stop, and he was the latest one to take the first one, so that's interesting. Anto has, I'm guessing, now stopped because he's come out of the pits. But yeah, there's no real. Oop, that's not great. It's not a case of skill issue. It's a case of they're racing really hard. This is proper racing, close racing. Everyone's at their limits, so yeah. I'm not going to complain about this one. Sure, there's been 4 safety cars, but it's hard because of hard racing, not incompetence. It has mixed the field up, so we will go through the field once again. Jack Olivier leads this race. Still, Alfie in the melee has got past Matsius Vasic, so he's in P2, Vasic P3. P4 for Chichko Dibble, P5 Noani Popovic, P6 is Speeding Red. Coffee's made it up to 7th, and from the back of the grid, after the previous safety car, Noah Rail is up to P8, Lucky 7 is 9th, Denny 10th, Rosso 11th, Lucas Balla 12th. Tomsy is 13th, and Anto is in 14th. So we've had Tomsy and Anto take their second and first pit stops, respectively. Oh, yeah, you're right. The rejoins are absolutely skill issues. You're right. There's no denying that. And that would probably avoid 2 safety cars. But this particular safety car is hard racing and just cracked under pressure. It happens to all of us. I have no complaints. Oh, we're still going to get penalised, absolutely, but, you know, this is safety car number 4. 5 if you include the formation, because that was an extra formation you could get. Another enthralling race. And all this is going to really help. Well, it's not going to help Anto anymore. He's still in the pits, in fact. He's gone back into the pits. I don't know what's going on there. But all this fuels the possibility of a 2-stop. Well, I was leaning toward maybe a 3rd. We're going to do one more lap because we've got Anto circulating the second chicane. He'll be the only one with the warm tyres. We go to green again. Have I lost the ratio on Twitch? I have, haven't I? That's 2 platforms now. I've lost the ratio. Help. Anyway, what can Alfie Bevan do? He got that P2 our previous safety car before being taken out in, I think, what calls the second safety car at this point. I've lost the track at this point. Didn't have an opportunity to show himself beyond a P2. What can he do against Jack Olivier now? He's bloody quick in AF3. He can challenge Jack in AF3, but these are different cars. This is AF2, GT1s. We've done GT2 actually before in AF2. No, we did GT4s in AF3 before. Anyway. Still halfway through this race. 1 hour to go. And a bit. Anything can stop it. Just about got Ant on the back of the field, so we should be able to go green at the end of this lap. Of course, up to Crumpet, we might do another lap. I don't know. Are we going to get to a full... Oh, Jack's just crashed into Crumpet there. There's a bit of a touch there. Give him a penalty. Give him a penalty. Give him a penalty. Right, Anto is pretty much on the back of the field, so we'll be good to go green at the end of this lap, I would expect. We get a... Whoa, server! Or was that just me? That was everyone. That might have been an actual server problem.
Happened yesterday in A3 as well.
Speed limit engaged.
I had to check that, so yeah, that was a server issue. But we're going to go green now. Anto is at the back of the field. Just. And Jack will lead them away. We didn't lose anybody in that, thank God. But we await the green flag once again. 4 safety cars down. How many to go? 1 hour to go. There's the green. Good stuff from P2 and P3. In fact, Bassett might have a look on Alfie here. Alfie is going to go really defensive, and that might turn into attack on Jack. Down the inside we go to turn 1. Oh, it was really close there. Oh, and Vasic's turned Alfie round at turn 1 and turn 2. There's another pile-up. Here comes safety car number 5, ladies and gentlemen. Another mix-up at the back. Half the field involved. Noah Rail, you can barely read Noah Rail's sponsors anymore. They're all scratched off. Bloody hell. Number 5. The record in an AF race for safety cars is 9. Wait, that's not right. 21. He's 21. The record from an AF race is 21 in the AF 2000. Indy 250 with the Indy lights. I think the record on an AF2 race is about 3. To be honest, we haven't had many AF2 safety cars. They don't happen often at all. I would expect. In fact, Crumpet's trying to drive round the field, so I expect it'll be this lap and maybe one more. Because there might be people who want to repair damage or fill up with fuel. But Crumpet's catching up. We know Crumpet can do a lap 7 seconds faster than the fastest GT1 cars. Alfie did a lap in practice of a 39 in the safety car. So Crumpet's not quite there yet, so we'll do one more lap, I imagine. He's going to cut across the track, which is actually slower. But he's on keyboard, bless him. Now driving a straight line from it, and you're making it. He's driving it like it's a normal car, like he's joining the back of the field. Almost definitely going to go for one more lap. He's at the back of the field, not at the front. This is not where the safety car should be. This is the danger car zone. Pick a side. left. Don't hit anybody as you go past Crumpet. We have got a pit stop in the form of Speeding Red this time. And we will get one more lap, of course. This should be the final lap of the safety car period. And let's hope and pray that it doesn't happen again. In that last one, we lost Alfie, but he's rejoined in P5 after a moment at turn 2. So it is now Jack Olivier still leading, Vasic is still second. Then we have Jacob Dibble in P3. Honestly, seeing the word Toxic Boy on the screen is really confusing for me. I don't want to call him that because his name in Discord is Chichko Dibble, but it's really messing my head. The man who proposed is 4th. Alfie is 5th. Coffee 6th. Rosso 7th. Lucas Ballet is 8th. Tomsy is 9th. Anthony is 10th. And we have No Rail, Denny 2005, Lucky 7, and Speeding Red, who's just come out of the pits, at the back in P14. Still only 2 retirements from this race. We lost Kevin about 10 laps ago, and we lost Sebastian Duran on lap number 3 after a crash at Ascari. I'm just going to dip into the race board chat, see if there's anything going. Let's see who's saying that.
Speaking.
Jack, where are you trying to go?
I'm just trying not to brake so I can save fuel.
Okay, safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap.
Please be careful on tier 1 so we can do some racing.
This is turning into AF2 250. So yeah, please be
Me and the
careful.
boys in gridlock traffic.
If I say something, they can't hear me anyway, so I'm all good to speak. We are going to go green this time, as you heard from our race control trumpets.
Oh, I can see the seconds counting down again. Oh, nice.
Generally, in this safety car, on safety car restarts, Vasic has had a better
Nearly.
run
Grid limit.
than Jack.
Speed limit.
As you heard, Jack has to save fuel. Jack is saving fuel. He's trying for one more stop.
Hey, reminder, be careful turn 1 again, please.
Leaders in the restart zone.
A bit more spaced out this time. We're going to go back into the streaming chat in a second once the green flag's called.
Green flag, green flag, green flag.
Green flag is called. Jack has a pretty good getaway this time. It's much more spaced out. But Rosso's got a pretty good run in the midfield. In fact, I think we'll know he's going to get done by Coffee. We're going to take it nice and easy through T1. No one's really racing. Moving back. No rail side by side. Back and forward, and that's a spin there. That's Denny that's spun it. It's a really good start for Vasic. He's on the back from Jack Olivier this time. Not going to be close enough for moving into the second chicane, but he needs to stay with him, and Ascari is an option. And Popovic has spun from P4. Looks like he's lost it on his own, I think. He's in a really awkward place, actually. And Popovic in the back of the grid. Here we hoping for a 6th safety car. Not the best run through turn 2 by 2 for Vasic, but Jitka Dibble is nowhere to be seen. That's exactly what Vasic needed. Let's listen for Jack Olivier and fuel saving. Doesn't sound like there's any fuel saving there, but he has got to. He's going to want to do this on one more stop. As is most of the field, but let's see what Jack can pull off with it, with the strategy idea. Alfie, meanwhile, looking quite close to Chicken. Not the most confident of turning. Parabolica there. So stands out just within the half a second for slipstream, so here we go. In fact, of the top 5, even as far as the top, well, the entire field down to P12, worst lap on the restart was Chichko Dibble. No Rail still making his way through the field, just past Tomsy. Oh, they're still side by side. No Rail has got the position for P8 now. Anto's going to look at this. Speeding Red is past Lucky 7. He's pitted early, and I think that might be that's an interesting call. Because he'll be hoping that's the final, that there's more safety cars to come. He'll be hoping for more safety cars. Speeding Red's on in the back of Anto. Should dispose of him quite quickly, I would have thought. Doesn't do it at Lesmo 1 though. And Rosso looking at the back of Coffee, who will be distracting Rosso with the doors at every possible braking zone. It's an interesting tactic, and it seems to be working so far. He's doing pretty well, P5. Whole midfield battle is just incredible. We're going to run a mob with Speeding Red. In fact, we're going to run a mob with Lucky 7 because he's much closer to Speeding Red, and Speeding Red is to Anto. Thank you very much. To SMI126 for following. SMI126. Speeding Red goes a bit deep there. And out of all this, I think Vassy's had another. Yeah, he has had a shocking lap. So here comes Chichko Dibble to finally retake P2. It's been so long. Both a bit iffy on the brakes. Chichko's going to plan this well in advance. Vasic is just enough in the way to stop a move from happening. But Alfie Bevan is going to be loving this because he's back in the fray. Through the Curva Grande they go. We've got Toxic Boy. Going to be looking at Vasic. Not going to make a move into the second chicane though. Probably one of the riskier places to do it. Noah Rail, however, has got another place. Or he's trying to get another place off of Lucas Ballard. Doesn't make it. Speeding way behind that. Oh, he's spun Anto. He's stuck on the curb. Gets out of the way of Denny just in time. That's a third car dead in this next period of the race without a safety car to come out to help them out. Vasic has held on to P2 ahead of Chichko Dibble. It's out for half a second again. Partly because he now has to defend a little bit from Alfie. Just a little bit. What can Noah Rail do on Lucas Balla? Is he close enough for a move? No, he's not. Not into the Oscara chicane. Now, this is where Vasic is probably one of the weaker. Whoa, who's that in the background? I think that is Lucas Balla. It was. Getting squirrely on the exit of Ascari, and Noel will take the position off of him. And that's Denny in the background going way wide. No, it's not. It's, yeah, he's Denny. Lucky 7 and Speeding Red side by side. That run back through the field is not suddenly not working out for Speeding Red. I thought it was quite a good idea. He's wrong. Down pit straight we go. Lucky 7 still hasn't got the place back off of. Stuff and spread out a bit now in the final hour of this race, which feels like a lot longer than an hour. But nevertheless. Once again, Chichko is running right on the back of Vasic, who still cannot find a way past. Vasic's gone deep there, actually so too is Chichko. And here's Alfie. Meanwhile. That looked a bit clumsy, just joining the move there. Feeling Red and Lucky 7. Back to P2 still. Vasic holding very firm. Slipstream just not quite strong enough. I mentioned this before, but I think I will now because we're into the final hour. When Vasic rejoined AF, he had no podium. He never scored a podium in AF. He's had many tries and many near misses. And there have been clips on our Twitch channel of Vasic getting into the lead or getting close to a really good result and then potentially spinning out or whatever happened to him. When he rejoined AF, he got his first podium almost immediately in the pro class race at Motorsport. And when I said, "It's your first podium ever," he said, "It doesn't count. I don't count it." He's never had so, I mean, let's say overall podium, because it was a class podium, P4 overall. He's never had an overall podium in AF. And today is very much looking like that day. I don't mean to jinx it, I don't want to jinx it, but today could very well be Vasic's first podium, and he has been trying for a very long time. Bar a gap in the middle for, we won't say why. He's giving absolutely everything to race this. To the checkered flag in potentially P2. It's a seriously impressive result so far. Popovic has managed to get past Denny on his recovery. He's almost at the front of the stragglers, and he might end up being at the back of the stragglers once again once Denny gets back past him, like it seems to be looking. So, we're right on board. We'll go back off board with these three. The battle's P2. Poland versus Bulgaria versus good old Blighty. Previous Scout chicane. Back then he's just spun it at Lesmo 2 off spot. Oh, and that is Coffee. You're supposed to go to the left of picture on the exit of Ascari, not the right. Suspect he's almost spun that one, but he's saved it. He's going to stay. He's going to drop down to P8 now behind Tomsey. I wanted to switch back, but I realised Vasic's gone really defensive now, so this could be an opportunity for me. Almost identical on the times. In fact, Vasic's only about half a tenth faster than the two behind. They're both doing 47.9s. Just going to have a late look at Vasic, but isn't going to make a place. Alfie right on the back of Chichko different. I think Chichko's got a pretty good run out of the first chicane here. Isn't really closing, but it's close enough to maybe make a lunge. No, it is not. Chichko takes a lot more curve through the chicane than Vasic. But it doesn't always work out. Alfie lost out quite a lot. He's out 6 tenths now instead of 3 tenths. And then there's this battle, which is for P7. Coffee and Tomsey side by side. We've got Speeding Red behind that, and Lucas Valley behind that. Lucky 7 will be on this pretty soon. He likes his pack racing. He's been very in the pack racing in this race so far, for better and for worse. And I'm going to call them the two teammates because they've got the same tag on them. Tomsey and Speeding Red, side by side towards Ascari. And Speeding has taken the place off of Tomsey in the end. Valor is ready to pounce on what we might want to call a poorly timed team orders decision, but might not be. Once again, they're almost identical in the time. Honestly, it's 19 thousandths of a second separating the two of them. We're going to see some driver radio. Oh no! Chichko Dibble has wiped Vasic out of the podium places. He's down to P5 now. And all hell's breaking loose for that final podium place. It's Chichko Dibble and Alfie side by side towards the second chicane. Chichko's going to hold on to the place for now. Now we might hear some driver radio.
Oh my god, is there time progression?
Yep.
Oh, fuck me!
language. Rosso, who is up to P4, to be fair to, he's done a brilliant job to make his way through the field. He's now struggling with light. He started P9, he's up to P4. He's struggling with lighting issues. But what will help Vassic and Rosso, in fact, and Noah Rail, he did this battle as well, for P4, is these two are going to slow each other down battling. Vassic just needs to stay in the mid-47s and he's going to be with them soon enough. Once they start battling, they'll be in the 48s. There wasn't a touch there, it was very, very close though. We've got a bit of a melee at the back, Coffee and Speeding Red side by side, and changing places. Lucky 7 Tomsy are side by side as well. So Tomsy's lost about 3 places in one corner. He'll be side by side with Lucas Bell down the pit straight. Noah Rail is in the pits. That's our first green flag pit stop of the race, if you can believe it. It's 46. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. Down the inside goes Lucas Ball. He's done it on Tomsy. He was going to try it on Lucky 7. He's not going to make it. All this is happening. Alfie and Chichko as close as ever. Vassic is on the back of... Whoa! He does hit Rosso, but he avoids spinning. Vassic will rejoin behind Rosso and have to try again. Cool yourself, Vassic. There's a good position in this. Just keep it cool. Coffee, he's on the back of Speeding. Probably one thing you don't want cool. But thank you very much. I'm here all week. God damn it. Vassic just needs to get past Rosso now, and Alfie just needs to get past Victor Dibble. He's battling all the way through the field. Great to see. You've got no one. He's just come out of the pits. He's all the way back, so the leaders are heading down towards... Well, I mean, Jackalib is already at the Parabolica, but the likes of... The best of the rest is already at Ascari, and Noah Rail's only just coming out of the first chicane. It is a long old pit stop. So if Noah Rail can get some time in clean air, there are gains to be made. He just needs to keep with it. All of these cars will need to stop once again. What Noah Rail cannot have now is a safety car. And considering Vassic has now got past Rosso, that's P4 again for Vassic. And there's been a change for P2. They're side by side into turn 1. Alfie has got the place on Chichko Dibble. Takes a lot of curbs to try and catch back up to him. So there could be another move again into the second chicane. We're going to ride on board with Chichko Dibble. Slipstream looking effective on this one. He is going to look. Alfie's going to leave. Oh no! There's been a touch. Are they both going to make it to the apex? Alfie's missed the corner entirely. Chichko has... Well, Alfie's just going to... Is Alfie going to let it back? Alfie's not going to give some of the advantage back because that wasn't... He didn't lose it that much. But there's the fireworks we expected from this battle for P2. I don't think Alfie's giving it back either. He's going to take that 1.5 seconds and run. That might need to be looked at the end because that wasn't great. Let's have a look and listen to driving radio. There might not be anything.
Who is joining and leaving the voice chat constantly?
Oh, sorry, that's me.
Are you streaming?
I am streaming. Driver radio.
Okay,
nice.
Driver Radio, Toxic Boy, why do you do that, man?
Bro,
I'm really
you
upset now.
cut the...
I'm gonna cry.
Okay, bit toxic.
Aww.
I'm regretting this. Alright. And so, half a second back on the Manitovic. How's Noah Rail doing on his return to the we'll have a look at his times in a minute. It's 2:38 on his out. He's made the yeah, that's pretty good. He's made it to the apex. The contentious thing for me now is, I mean, all three of these, Alfie, Chichko, Vasic, Rosso, they've all been involved in incidents with each other. Rosso went bowling, but he's still been involved in incidents. So all these four are expecting to get penalties, potentially. Alfie for going too deep. I mean, he got punted off, but he left the track and gained a significant advantage of a second by going straight on at the second chicane. Chichko for wiping out Vasic, I think. Yes, it was. At turn 2. Vasic's wiping out Alfie at turn 2, potentially. I think there was something else. And as I say, Ross for going bowling at a Scarlet. So all these second to fifth are all going to have penalties at this point, or maybe even, or at least just reports. We don't know yet. We haven't had the report. They might not do it. We've got change of positions for P9. Let's have a look. No rails. 47-1. That is a brilliant lap from Noah Rail, and suddenly, if the rest of the field knew the pace of the clean air of Noah Rail, they'll be pitting very soon to cover off that undercut. But that's going to be a hell of a strong undercut with a 47-1. Rosso is in the pits, so he's heard me. The rest of the field are doing at best, apart from Jack obviously, at best 47.5. Most of the field doing 48s. And it is Noah Rail going 1.4 seconds faster than most of the field. Be afraid, be very afraid. You're about to see something incredible from the strategy brain of Noah Rail. Toxic Boy, Chichko Dibble, has managed to catch up to Alfie and overcome the advantage gained by Alfie at the second chicane. Keep an eye on the lap times from Noah Rail as well. It's coming around the final corner now. Rosso's still in the pits. Billy Red's got a purple first second one. Rail has passed Rosso. He hasn't moved out the pits yet. His lap was a 47.6. It's as good as the fastest of the rest of the field, which is man riding on board with Chichko Dibble at 47.5. This is going to be worrying for the rest of the field if they even knew about the pace of the rest of the field, about the pace of Noah Rail and clean air. This is incredible. Rosso has only just left the pits. But I expect his lap. I think his pit stop was a bit longer. But you would think Rosso will be able to go to the end of the race. Look at Lucky 70 side by side with Coffee towards the Parabolica. It's forced Coffee wide. Lucky 7's done a brilliant run down the inside, and he's got P6 off of Coffee. Good move, very good move. I say all these drivers are in mid 48s. Now it's giving it everything, and it could pay off at this rate. Ooh, a bit of a slide from Lucky 7. Coffee backs off instead of going full throttle. He won't take advantage in the end. Chichko and Alfie still following very closely. Half a second there. As Dibble loads up for another attempt. Behind that, we've got the man Popovic, still trying to get past Lucas Ballas. We see Tomsy coming across the second chicane, and Anto having a bit of a moment on the end of the second chicane as well. Also, we should probably be getting past. Should be letting Jack pass at some point. 47 flat from Noah Rail. Last lap, best lap from the rest of the field is a 47.6. He's still gaining time. In fact, Rosso's pit stop, his outlap, is 23 seconds slower than Noah Rail. So this has been a master stroke, potentially, from Noah Rail. By pitting early, so he didn't have to spend so much time filling up the fuel, it saved him a lot of time. There's been a crash. Rosso has collided with Jack. So expect a report from Jack against Rosso for that one. Lucky 7 is into the pits. This will be key, as Alfie's had a really bad run through turn 1 and 2, and Chichko has got the place back. P2 now for Chichko Dibble at last. Behind this, I'll note that Vasek isn't really gaining. He's gained by 2 tenths on the last lap on Chichko and Alfie. Alfie has... What's happened to Alfie? I think his computer's died. I think his computer might have frozen there, because that was very strange. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's not turning anywhere. Alfie is out of this race. Whoa, it's probably gone. Alfie is out. High drama in the late stages of this race. Lucas Balla and the man in Popovic have crashed, and Lucas Balla is on the escape road. It's our 3rd retirement of the race today. It's because of computer issues. Alfie is out of this race. Still hasn't said his... Oh, he hasn't said his destination. Okay. That promotes Vasek back into the podium places. Speeding Red into 4th again. I'm looking forward to seeing the... There we go. Alfie's back in now. So he should only lose the lap. He'll drop behind Rosso, I think. He'll still be in the race. That is horrible luck for Alfie there. We still await the results of Noah Rail's strategy experiment. A 47.6 last lap, matching the rest of the field, matching the pace of Speeding Red. Everyone else is doing 48 in the midfield. Vasek is into the pits. This is the key benchmark. Can Vasek get out of the pits ahead or behind of Noah Rail, who is at the Ascari chicane now? 35 minutes left in this race. And this will be a key indicator of whether Noah Rail has pulled off something incredible in that strategy. Assuming, of course, when he pitted he can make it to the end. He might be able to. We don't know. Vasek is P9 on the map. Oh, just underneath the P8 one, because Lucas Balla is in the pits at the same time. Probably expect Vasek to be moving now if he wants the position. Unless we've seen some incredible gains from Noah Rail. And I honestly think we might have done, because he's already passed him and Vasek isn't even moving. Lucas Balla's moving. Vasek is still in the pits. This is a long stop from Vasek. He's moving now. He's behind Lucky 7. The strategy has just thrown the pecking order out the window. So Noah Rail's up to P9, ahead of Lucas Balla, ahead of Matthias Vasek, who's running in the podium places by, what's that? That's 19 seconds. He's done a 48.1. The pace is slowing a little bit from Noah Rail now as the tyres start to wear out, but it's still faster than the rest of the field. With 35 minutes to go, he's getting a second a lap. This is unbelievable. Oh, Anto, save it! He hasn't saved it. It's in the wall. Anto's in the wall at the Ascari chicane. I dare say he seems to have struggled with that chicane this weekend. But still running P7. There's still hope for him. It's a good result. 47.2 from Speeding Red. The field starts to spread out now as we get the last bits of the strategy. And it seems like there's a big variation in the pit stop times for the fuel and maybe even tyres. I imagine the tyres is the extra thing. I guess Noah Rail didn't take tyres, or I mean, we know he would have filled up the tank less because he pitted earlier than everybody else by a long way. I mean, he pitted 6 laps ago. Everyone else has gone as far as, 30 laps? Yeah, they're approaching 30 laps. Denny's in. So I think this is now the main, or the big pit stop window coming up now. I know 8. Manua closing in on Coffee. 7 tenths faster on the last lap. Brewing nicely. Will Denny cut out of Rosso? Maybe. It's going to be close between those two actually. Denny's on the move. Rosso's just coming past now. There goes Denny. So it will be last place now for Denny. absolutely enthralling strategy race this has turned out to be. There's been great on-track battles and strategy. What more can you want? If you want to join another AF2 race, we have one coming up. We haven't announced it yet, but if you want to find out as soon as we do announce it, go ahead and join Assetto Friends on Discord. Discord.gg/AssettoFriends. No matter if you purge into pits. You can also then go to the Join AF2 Today channel, click the reaction, and you'll have the role, so you'll be notified as soon as we have a new event announced. And we are ramping up, just saying. We are ramping up. Demi has spun it at the second chicane. What we're ramping up to? You think of that. The Manu in the pits. And here comes Noah Rail, so he's going to be ahead of... That's another place for Noah Rail. There he goes. 47.4 from Noah Rail. It's going to drop behind Lucky 7. And potentially Lucas Bauer. Yeah, behind Lucas Bauer as well. Apparently it says Vasik's a minute and 8 behind, but that's not quite true. 55.9 that last lap. 20 seconds, about 15 seconds. 12 seconds in fact, and it's still going down. Jacques Olivier in the pits. Fully expect to come out in the lead. Chichko isn't pitting this time. Nor is speeding red. The key indicator is where no rail turns up. Because if the gap's about 15 seconds between no rail and Jack as Jack comes out the pits, that would indicate P2, I would say, net for no rail. Or at least in the back of P2. Just got to keep it on the road now. We've got Coffee and Tomsy both in the pits. Jack's still not... He is moving now, so it's close. It could be, I'd say podium. I'm going to guess podium for Noah Rail. He's on the card. Just got to keep it together and possibly deal with a battle at the end. With the likes of Speeding Red and also Chichko Dibble. The Speeding Red's still got some pace in him, and he pitted later than he was. He's only done 17 laps in his last stint. Chichko's on lap 33 of his stint, and Anto's on lap 21. The gap Jack to Noah Rail is 21 seconds. You bear that in mind as we head into the closing stages of this truly enthralling race. Lucky 7 has now come out and he's battling Tomsy. P6, probably net P4, I think. 5. Who's left to pit? We've still got 3 people left to pit in this race, and they are Chichko Dibble, Speeding Red, and Anto. Chichko Dibble in the pits now. Is Speeding Red going to follow him? I think he is, yes. Speeding Red is in the pits. It's quite early actually for Speeding Red, only 17 laps. 30 minutes of this race to go. So that'll be around 20 laps? 15 laps? 20 laps. About 20 laps to go. So Noah Rail did put in a full tank. And he should be able to make it to the end. Anto will take the lead of this race. He's still got about 10 laps before he can pit again. And that will be a splash and dash. By comparison. He's still going to be very close. We've got movement from Speeding Red much earlier than Chichko Dibble. He's done it again. So Speeding Red has jumped Chichko Dibble by some margin in the pits, and Noah Rail will take P3 on the road. That's a net P3. Interesting strategy from Speeding Red. I'm guessing he knows how long's left in this race. I think he can probably estimate it and shorten his fuel stop Olivier 1-2. Anto leads from Jack Olivier. Anto yet to stop. Speeding Red is third. No Red is fourth. Jericho Devil is fifth. Tomsy sixth. Lucky 7 seventh. Lucas Ballot is eighth. Popovich is ninth. And Coffee is in 10th. Rosso's just gone straight on at turn 1. So that's a position. 11 for him. Rosso 12th. Denny is at the back in 13th place. We've had three retirements from this race. Alfie and Kevin and Sebastian Duran. Lucas Ballot has spun it at the exit of the second chicane. There goes Coffee's just enough time for Lucas Ballot to get going again. Purple final sectors. 43.7. 46.1 on that last lap for him. Noah Rails in a 47.3. We'll check Speeding Red's lap time now. He's just come out of the pits, so it won't be a particularly representative lap time, 2.24. So we'll check next lap. Let's say we're still waiting on Anto to stop, and he should be stopping in about 10 laps' time. So it'll be a splash and dash for him. He could get him coming out around about this battle for P6. Tomsy and Lucky 7, I reckon. Feels quite spread out though. So one more safety car. All it takes. Denny spun it at the Ascari chicane. Still closing in on that. Lucky 7. He's dropped off the back of Tomsy now. He's at 1.4. Lost 6 tenths on the last lap. He's running at similar pace most of the race. 47.6 best lap for both of them. I want to start the gun. I don't often do these sorts of races. One of the shorter ones we've had is like 7 the one for Daytona was 4 hours. That's still better. Anto is in the pits. I expect that to be a little later actually. So Anto's going to come into the pits. He'll drop behind Speeding Red. He'll certainly drop behind Noah Rail and probably Chico Devil as well. But the question is, where will he come out in relation to the likes of Tomsy and Lucky 7? Is P7, P6 an option? There goes Speeding Red, who sets his personal best lap of 47.0. There's Noah Rail, just did a 47.1. Chicks goes faster than Noah Rail, in fact it's a 46.7. Still not moving as Tomsy and Lucky 7 go past. The man is going to go past as well, and I think Coffee might pass. It's going to be close between Anto and Coffee, I think. Coming towards turn 1. There's Anto on the radio picture. And there goes Coffee, so I guess not. Anto rejoins in P9 and actually cuts the white line at pit exit as well. And goes deep at turn 1. And here's Lucas Ballard to take P9. There we go. Everyone has taken their last pit stop. It's now the run to the end. Noah Rail has been running on those tyres the longest. He's 12 laps into his stint. Everyone else is around between 2 and 4 laps into this final stint. As Lucas Ballard spins it out. Oh, saves it. Doesn't save it. He's lost it again. There goes Vasic. Here comes Rosso. Ballard goes to the back of the field. Vasic into the top 10 once again. Torrid second half of this race, running so well into P2, got wiped out and taken back to P5, and his strategy just has not worked for him. Instead of it for so much longer. I imagine it might be for damage actually, but I doubt it. It wasn't much damage. Well, it wouldn't have been much damage. He's dropped towards the back and recover as far as P10 at the minute. Here's Lucky 7. Trying to capture P5, trying to capture the top 5 of Tomsy. That's the sort of point where my voice starts to go weird, and the words don't really work. I can't form a complete sentence without going and choosing different words that aren't the right ones, or camera angles for that matter.
Skill issue.
Thank you, Jens. That's now reminding me to deafen. Yes, let's go into League Race one more time and see if we're going to hear any driver loading. I mean, I guess there's nothing, but I'll just stay muted in here for a little while, see if anyone says anything of note. Oh, we got a spin. That's Noah Rail. Noah Rail spinning the Zagari.
Car off, Scary.
In the middle of a Scary, watch out.
Car off, Lesmo.
Rosso Vasik's gone at the Lesmo 1. All hell suddenly broken loose. Noah Rail spun it again at the exit of Ascari. He was running in a podium place. He's now down to P7. It's gone tits up. It's gone absolutely tits up. Lucky 7 is now in the back of Tomsey for what is now P4 in this race. The podium seems to be now organised and finalised. Lucky 7 is going to take... Oh, Jack spun it! Jack spun! Only a small one. Oh, he's having a bit of trouble getting going, but he's going again. Hasn't cost him much. Lucky 7 and Tomsey side by side into turn 1. All his battling has led Nemanja to go on the back of this pack. There's a P4 just up the road for Nemanja Popovic today. Easily done from Nemanja. He might even try Lucky 7, but I think he's got a bit deep for that one, and he has. What can Tomsey do? He's going to look to the outside, actually, at Lesmo 1. Nemanja shuts the door. The gap for the lead has been cut down now to 13 seconds. It was over 20. I can tell you in a minute how much time Jack actually lost. As he come across the line, we'll see he did a 45.6 last lap. This lap was a 54.5. It's about 7 seconds he's lost. To win a race in AF, you need absolutely everything. Skill, luck, and survival skills as well. And a good strategy in the longer races. 46.5, a personal best lap from Toxic Boy there. Actually gets Chichko Dibble. Now, what can the Nemanja do on Lucky 7? It's not quite close enough to get the slipstream, I think, but oh, Rosso spun it at the Ascari chicane. I don't know where he is though. There he is. He's on the inside of the final part. He's got going now. Here's Nemanja. Closed quite a lot of time on Lucky 7, and he's got a decent exit to stay with him. Tomsey's dropped off the back of this. He's going to look to the left hand side. Whoa, Nemanja save it. He hasn't. He's just about saved it, but he's had to stop completely. So there goes Lucky 7, there goes Tomsey. Start again. There's the cat with the back of coffee for P8. Late pit stop will do that. He's on fresh tyres. Or as we've only pitted about 3 laps after coffee. Not that much of that much of an effect. Good slipstream here. And that's Lucky 7 having to go across the gravel. In fact, he spun it on the gravel. Oh, and Andrew spun it as well. Seriously, no one can keep their tyres going in the final part of this race. You'd think they'd change the tyres at the last pit stop, but I guess they didn't. Let's change position there for P8. That's Coffee and no rail. Wasn't particularly close before. I imagine Noel's had another mistake. Yeah, he has. 53.4, way off the pace. Second sector, I think. He's going to keep fighting. Shuts the door on Coffee into the braking. Such a disappointing second half of this race to Noah. He started that strategy so well, got a brilliant undercut to put him up into podium places, and one spin has just completely invalidated him. Popovic and Tomsey. Well, Popovic got past both of them now. Because obviously Lucky 7 spun on the last lap, and Popovic managed to get past Tomsey as well. Up to B4. Vasic's gone as well. Oh, Vasic spun it. Was he involved with Rosso there, maybe? No collision. So Vasic's just spun it at the first chicane. Bad to worse for Vasic today. Another brilliant opportunity goes by the wayside, and that's also hurting my big mouth. Everyone's just trying to make it to the end now. This is a painful last 15 minutes where the tyres are clearly struggling. The times are clearly struggling. We've got about 2 spins a lap. No one setting any personal best sectors, apart from maybe Jack. Occasionally, he's still in the high 45s. So, I mean, what is going on? Last hope for Jack to not win this race is if Denny, who's approaching Jack, or, well, I guess reverse of that, takes him out. And hard. I wouldn't wish it on him. In public. Coffee no rail, still battling over that P7 place. Coffee, as I mentioned before, down to the back of the grid at the start of this race, hadn't even qualified. He's doing a brilliant job. He's had. I want to see the position chart at the end of this race, because there's going to be a lot of changes. I'm going to ignore the safety car bits. Or 6 of them. How many have we got? 6 of them? As I say, no one's setting personal bests. Jack and Speeding Red are trading fastest second. Speeding Red got the fastest first sector, 37 flat. Jack got the fastest second sector, 34.4. But Jack's still faster. Under 15 minutes to go. Everyone's pretty much spread out now, so we're just waiting for any speeding up fractions to finish this race off. Apart from this battle of P7, No Rail and Coffee both have had their moments in this race. Both have been up there at times. No Rail qualified in P4 in this race. Had a chance of podium, as I mentioned earlier, and Coffee didn't even qualify. Complete unknown in this race, as far as I'm concerned. That's the best lap overall for Speeding Red in the last lap, with the 46.444. The third fastest lap of the race. First fastest driver. Coffee No Rail still very close together. Coffee has now got the place on No Rail through Parabolica. But No Rail is on the screen. Oh, he is. Highly effective. P7 once again for No Rail. We must have a whale of a time. Rosso spun it at Parabolica. There goes Vasic. Could this be the opportunity for No Rail to clear off now? He's made the move down the pit straight. No, I stand corrected. No, I've got that wrong. Second chicane. Here comes Coffee once again. Level 1. No rail defends very hard, but leaves the door open for Coffee. Doesn't make the move though. Jack fast that 45.5. Whatever. Moving on. The battle will continue for P7. All the way to the flag at this rate. Unless it's a collision. Well, out of the not have the collision. A little unsure of themselves through the first part of Mascari there. Vasic's now spun again at Lesmo 1 while battling with Rosso. He hasn't got long before Jack gets here. Ooh, there's an idea. Moving on. So, Coffee's going to have a nice big slipstream on Noah Rail at this rate. As Noah has a... No, doesn't even need it. As Noah's had a moment, let's call it that, a moment at Mascari, at whatever the hell it's called. It's been a long day. Parabolica. But Noah's back to the slipstream. He's going to go to the outside. Doesn't need to be good at Parabolica. Just needs to be not terrible. Better view, please. Better view, please. Anything better. There we go. No rail has got P7 once again. As we head into the night time, you can tell him more out of their skins, like, oh, I don't know, Coffee with his bright purple rims. Brilliant. I've got a flash from Coffee and a door opening just to remind No Rail that he's there. I'm going to switch to this as Jack approaches and passes Vasic. Vasic goes a lap down. And Coffee now out of slipstream with no rail. Still thinks he's got Coffee's slipstream, so he's going to go defensive. Move it about a bit. No real harm in doing that, but he has gone deep at Parabolica. Here comes Coffee once again. I reckon Noah's trying to be a bit too smart here. Vasic spins again. He's gone at the first Lesmo. About, what, 8 laps to go? Something like that. And there's Coffee going past again. And here comes Noah Rail again. Trying to go down the inside at the first chicane again. Bit of a block pass. Job done. Good move again. Ooh, Coffee's got a bit flustered with that one. I guess a bit clothed up. Does that work? No? Oh, and while this is going on, here's Anto. Say hello to Anto, everybody. He's joined the party. Lucas Balla will be on this party pretty soon as well. 2 to 3 to 4. The battle for P7. No Rail holding on very well. No Rail can no longer pull the trick of going wide at Parabolica to guarantee a slipstream. Because he's not the only one in the fight. But I reckon he'll still try it. Through Lesmo 2, Coffee gets really squirrely and Anto's going to try and go on the grass to pass him. And it is going to work, it seems. Anto at the P8, No Rail being allowed to run away. Oh, goes deep as No Rail though. Still mistakes creeping in, and here comes Anto. 3/4 of a second. Here's the gap, and it is closing. So No Rail is in trouble, deep trouble in fact. Down towards turn 1, unless he pulls his little trick at the Parabolica, but he probably shouldn't. He does. He only does. Oh, this is very clever from Noah Rail. Where's Coffee in all this? He's just far enough back. Lucas Balla's in the battle again. 4 in the battle for P7, and Noah Rail is pulling some sneaky shit to keep his P7. He knows what he's doing. This is brilliant strategy. Brilliant racecraft from Noah Rail, if not a little bit risky. back up to P7 goes Noah Rail. What can anyone else do? Well, it's his opportunity for Noah Rail to run away if anyone else tries a move on Anto. Anto might try and move on Noah Rail, coming to Lesmo 1. He goes very defensive up ahead. Going to run him on with Anto for this. Trying to get a tight line through Lesmo 1 and running to Lesmo 2. Nowhere near close enough. Go back to Lucas Ballard to the back of this train. He's going to try and slingshot his way down the back straight towards this go if you can. 6 minutes to go. And there's still plenty of racing action left in this race. Coffey's got a good slipstream on Anto. He has half a look. Not going to go for it though. Ooh, right on the bumper. Not a great run out the chicane there for Coffey. So here comes Lucas Balla. Anto has dropped to 6/10 behind Noah Rail. Lucas Balla's going to look the outside. Off Coffey. Brilliantly clean racing in the second half of the race. They're still side by side. That's Noah Rail in the pits! Noah's in the pits! The fuel can't go to the end. The strategy was always doomed to fail. Or so it would seem. I mean, fooled me. So Anto has now got a confirmed P7. Coffey and Balla will fight over P8 and P9. That's probably anything to say on Anto. But Noah Rail should, in fact, he's quick splash and dash. He's going to be out battling Rosso for the final top 10 place. And ignoring the white lines of the pit exit. But we still have a 3-car battle for P7. Has spread out somewhat. Where's Jacqueline? Is Jacqueline about to lap Noah Rail? He's at the first Lesmo now, so he's probably about 40 seconds into the lap or so. Probably 2 laps to go after this one. 2 laps to go after this one, I think. Spread out a bit for P7 now. Anto, Coffey, and Balla. Still got a little bit of slipstream. Just a little bit. At the moment, no. He's a bit frothy. Here comes Lucas Balla. Quite going to be close enough into the second chicane, but it is late enough in the race to pull a move of such crazy proportions, but it will be enough to pull him close. And get a good run. Nope, he doesn't. Never mind. Jap coming through the first chicane now. We've crossed along about 3 minutes to go, so yes, 2 laps to go. Jack Olivier leading this race. Speeding Red in 2nd place. Chichko Dibble in 3rd. Nemanja Popovic in 4th. Tomsey 5th. Lucky 7th, 6th. Anto is in 7th, Coffey 8th, Lucas Balla 9th, Rosso has spun it in 10th. So there goes Noah Rail. Rosso has to do donuts to get going again. Rosso in 11th, Denny 12th, and Vasic in P13. Anto's managed to clear far enough away from Coffey. Lucas Ballard is ready. 6.5 tenths of a second with 2 laps to go. To answer what happened to Vasic, it was going so well. I think the strategy let him down at the end. Coffey's gone deep. I'll hold pause on that one. Coffey's gone deep. He's had to cut across. Popovic has spun it. He's hard off at the second chicane. Tom's is going to take P4. He's got enough time to get going before Lucky 7 gets going, but not too long, because here's Lucky 7. Anyway, yeah. It was going so well for Vasic. He was running up into P3, but his last pit stop took longer than expected, by about 20 seconds. And then after that, just spun it a few times, and that was the end of that. He's probably on for P7, I think. Even if he had the long pit stop, would have pulled back to about P7. I still can't get the grip at the final, on the exits of any corner there to make any headway. You could very easily get past Coffey if he just hold his exits together. Into dusk here in Monza. Macedon could bore fans. It is boring fans. Oh no, Freddie. They've brainwashed you. On the final lap for Coffey and Lucas Ballard. Meanwhile, here is Jack Olivier coming to the final corner. Been another dominant performance from Jack Olivier that no one could ever beat. Please, for the love of God, someone beat him. But for the second race in AF2 in 2023, Jack Olivier wins in AF2. And here comes Speeding Red. I don't think I've seen him in a while. I'm sure I've seen him somewhere. I think he's done weeklies. But this is I think it's his first AF2 race. But it will be an incredible performance for Speeding Red. Qualified P7. And will come home with a second place finish. Chichko Dibble pulled it back well, but not well enough to come home in P3. A long way back to this battle to P4 though, which isn't quite over yet. Popovic is still closing on Tom's for P4. Could be a last lap move. But probably not. Ross has given up. Oh no, Ross has finished though, P11. No change, it will be Tomsy that comes home in P4. Nemanja Popovic will come home in P5. Lucky 7, 6th. Anto 7. Oh no, there's been a change from P8. Side by side through the final corner. Coffey and Lucas Ballard, they bang doors. Coffey will keep that P8 in the end. P8 goes to Coffey. P9, Lucas Ballard. No Rail comes home in 10th. Russell 11th, Denny 12th, and Matthew Bassett in P13 with 3 retirements. Alfie Bevan for internet issues, Kevin for can't even remember, and Sebastian Duran for can't remember that either. Still battles all the way through. A very good race. Now, I understand all of you want to go and watch the qualifying for Jeddah, so I will let you all go. Thank you very much for joining us. We have AF3 returning for its first proper round next week at Poznan, and then we have AF4 returning for the second half of its for the first race of its new season with the Mazda MX-5. First race is at Road America, 25th of March. Starts at 4 PM UTC. Easy 20-minute race. Anyone could join it. And we're trying to make it a bit cleaner. Then we have AF1 returning for a practice race on next Sunday. at Fuji. But until then, we have our steward stream on Monday, of course. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.